T-Dog, J-Boy, and me, I'm Lugs. Our pride and joy is pumping our mugs. Be careful, kids, it could get rough. We're flipping our lids on sports and other stuff.
Welcome to Sport Weasel Central. I'm Lugs.
I'm J-Boy.
And I'm T-Dog.
Hey, we've got a large crowd gathered here at Studio 1A. It's Super Bowl week, and we've got our party going already. But we've got you covered on this show. Predictions, prop bets, all right here. Also, where will Deshaun Watson go? And don't look now, but it's February. A snapshot we'll have of college basketball coming up. But first, the blockbuster trade. The Lions trade Matthew Stafford to the Rams for Jared Goff and 3 picks, including 2 first-rounders. Is it a win-win? Who came out better? Lugs, let's get this baby started. Oh, wait, your fans are here. Oh, now you can go
Calm
ahead.
yourselves now, gang.
Yeah, it's Super Bowl week, baby. Come on.
Well, I would say that the big winner is Matthew Stafford. He finally goes to a team where he doesn't have to just give up body parts for nothing. And he is a quarterback that Sean McVay can do things with beyond what Goff just regressed somehow. And I hope Detroit finds a way to use Goff, but they're going to have to get him some help there. I mean, that was the thing with Stafford. He never had, other than Calvin Johnson, he never had that star kind of a player. So,
to be fair to your point, like the thing that's really troubling for the Lions is their 2 best wide receivers, and they're both talented. Marvin Jones Jr., he, I believe, is a free agent. And Kenny Galladay, who maybe they franchise, he's also a free agent. Who is was nicknamed Babytron. So essentially he was a close facsimile to Calvin Johnson. So like losing both those would be huge. No, it's great for Stafford because this is easily the best offensive mind he's been around. I mean, the best one probably might be either Darren Bevel or Jim Bob Cooter. So those are the other 2. So
Jim Bob Cooter
with to Sean McVay. And I think it's a win-win because you look at where the teams are and it matches where they are. Like obviously Rams, a lot of their talent guys aren't going to get any younger. They're in the midst of their prime, so you need to try to take advantage now. And that's where Stafford will help you in these next few years, where Detroit's essentially a complete teardown rebuild. So it's best to scorch the earth, get as many draft capital as they can. If Jared Goff works out, great. If not, they have enough draft picks to draft a guy in the next 2 to 3 years. So,
well, it's a Super Bowl move, right? Stafford, that's why we did this. But I think I'm going to say Lions come out better. Here's why. First-round picks in 22 and 2023 and a third-rounder this year. I think Goff has a shot. He's 26. Stafford will turn 33 this week. Goff's already played in the Super Bowl. You got the caveman coach, what's his name, Campbell at Detroit. They're starting over. Why not take the kid, take a shot, and get all these draft picks? They could get another quarterback real soon.
Well, probably one of the reasons why it happened between these 2 teams is the GM of the Detroit Lions. He actually came from the Rams. Right. So he already knows how Sean McVay really felt about Jared Goff. Not that it didn't come out in the last 2 weeks, but he also know how he felt about Stafford. So he had a lot of, inside intel that helped make it possible. I'll just say this is before maybe Lugs has some other things to add. I'll just want to say the other things that are fascinating to me is Stafford was essentially willing to go anywhere except for the Patriots. So that just tells you how much he really enjoyed working with Matt Patricia. And Broncos, Panthers, and Bears offered more than a first-rounder for this year. And also the Washington football team were aggressive too. So,
yep. Oh.
No, overall, I guess it is a win-win. I think that, like I said, Stafford is the big winner in this. But in the end, we got to see some games played. But yeah, as long as the McVay can hold that offense together. I mean, he got a good running back in Cam Akers. They've got some decent receivers, so it should be interesting. I think they'll be very, very competitive in their conference.
And I think that the Lions get a lot of bad press, and the Ford family looks upon them as just their play toy, maybe. And I think they did the right thing because you recall Barry Sanders retired early. We don't know all of what happened there in his prime. And Calvin Johnson retired because the Lions wouldn't release him from his contract, and he didn't want to play for him anymore. So maybe this is a turning page for the Lions, and wouldn't that be great?
I believe it's the daughter has taken over, and if you kind of look at how they've operated, they're definitely operating completely different. Kind of like what you said, they obviously are getting something in return, so it's not just being altruistic, but they want to do Stafford right. They wanted to send him somewhere he wanted to go, and it sounded like the Rams were his preferred place to possibly go. So,
all right,
yeah, it was a good move.
Deshaun Watson.
I was going to say the other major quarterback deal would be Deshaun Watson. If he went to the Jets, which apparently he wants to, I mean, it'd be like a cash cow for the Texans. They could just get themselves like 4 or 5 good draft picks, and so the Jets would take over Watson's money, I assume. So that could possibly work.
Well, to be fair to your point, the Jets are obviously the most appealing to Watson. It sounded like he really liked Robert Saleh. They have $63 million in cap space, so they can go out and possibly get him. There's a lot of interesting wide receivers out there, like Kenny Golladay might be available. Allen Robinson might be available. And also just, maybe upgrade the offensive line as well, besides Becton. And from the other side, for the Texans, they have 2 first overall picks this year. They have 2 first overall picks next year. So they have the draft capital, thanks to that trade of Jamal Adams away. They had all that extra draft capital from the Seahawks. So they are definitely, I think, is preferred. And they also have the only other one that feels like legitimate is the Dolphins, because they have $23 million in cap space. They also have 2 first-rounders this year, and he likes Brian Flores as well. So those are the main 2. And I really only think there's 2 other options, and I don't think they're realistic. The Niners, which I don't think he'd be opposed to, they have the 12th overall pick, and they could give up other first-rounders down the line. But they only have $9.5 million in cap space currently. Obviously, they can clear up other space. But you look at it, we didn't really talk about in terms of losers. I think the only true loser in the Stafford Goff trade is, I think the Niners are in real trouble now. Because you look at all the other quarterbacks. You have Stafford, you have Russell Wilson, you have Kyle Murray.
Oh, in division, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, Kyler Murray. They have Jimmy Garoppolo, who plays solid when he's there, but he's been so injury prone these last few years. I mean, will they have to go back to Nick Mullins or CJ Beathard? So, they need to make a big move. So, they might be the most desperate.
So tell me the name of the new coach of the Texans, T-Dog. Culley?
It's Culley.
Yeah.
Well, you guys missed the big breaking news. You see who the DC for the Texans is going to be?
It's Lovey.
One Lovey Smith. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did such a stellar job at Illinois. Okay, thanks very much.
He was like
See
3 wins and 106 losses at the University of Illinois. But have you seen him lately? He looks like he came off the mountain with Moses, man. He's got that white beard.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's little mess, little more grooming, a little more X's and O's. Lovely.
Is he going to be current on current NFL defenses? Come on now.
I think he will. I mean, he was a sharp guy. I mean, at the end of his tenure, they did adapt the defense. I mean, everyone's like it was Tampa 2, but I mean, they start playing man coverage a lot more. So he did adapt.
And did you see who the quarterbacks coach is going to be for the Texans? It's our guy Pep from the XFL. Pep Hamilton.
Pep Hamilton.
Yes.
So,
remember, we loved him in the XFL in the 4 games they played. That was a year ago, by the way. We were getting excited about that. Isn't that sad?
Oh, yeah.
COVID certainly killed that.
God, that was a blast, man.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it was.
Pep Hamilton. There you
what
go. That's
amazes me
my little bit of
about-
news today. That's it. That's all I got. Go ahead.
What amazed me about the
Get
whole
outta here.
Texas coaching move, I mean, Cully's not been a coordinator or anything. What was he? He was just like a position coach.
He was the passing coordinator for the Ravens, who we badmouthed pretty much the whole year. Because to be fair, it wasn't that good. I mean, it is an intriguing hire to put it mildly.
See, I think what it says is nobody wants to go to that Texas job except a guy who wants to get that on his resume, and he'll be there a year or two, and he'll finally implode or be thrown out.
Well, most of the talk you heard about the Eagles and the Texans coach, people said, I didn't know who he was. I had to Google him.
Yeah,
that's all you need to know, man.
Well, to be fair to him, I mean, maybe he did more during the week than Campbell did. I mean, when you look at Campbell, I mean, he was a tight ends coach. Like, he wasn't even an offensive or passing attack coordinator.
I'm Dan Campbell.
And now, to be fair, I think if you kind of look at his coaching staff's pretty talented. They have Anthony Lynn as the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. They got Deuce Staley since he wanted to leave because he'd been passed over so many times in Philly. And I believe I'm blanking on it. He brought a very talented DBs coach who's going to be their defensive coordinator. So he has a good roster. Like Coley, I have besides Lovie Smith, who I still think could be pretty solid. I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical about his. And we never know how these guys are going to work out. How many people thought Sean McVay was going to work out?
Right.
But when you look kind of at the resume of Coley, I hope the best for him, but you look at it, you're like, I don't know.
Well, you're right. Matt LaFleur was the same thing. People had to look him up when he got the Packers job. LaFleur.
Yeah, no, his few years with the Titans, they were mediocre. Yeah. They weren't great. So it kind of shows you sometimes it doesn't mean anything, but I don't know.
For the Texans, I honestly, I think Deshaun will stay.
Well, that's what Cully thinks. That's what he took the job for, he says.
Oh, yeah. No, but I think they'll talk him off the ledge, but I don't know.
How?
Pep. It's Pep Hamilton, baby. Come on.
Pep is probably good at pep talks, but
we'll start a new fan club. Pep Hamilton fan club. Right?
Pep's good at pasta. So.
And I'm going to make a prediction, man. I'm going to say Matthew Stafford doesn't even play every game. He's got the bad back, guys. 3 years in a row he's had back injuries. I'm saying,
man, totally hating on Matthew Stafford.
I think it's a Lions win-win.
Hey,
I see the Lions.
That's my role to.
That is. That's Luck's role to be the hater. J-Boy's still.
It's a new year, I guess.
I told you, Paul, I'm a lover, not a fighter.
But no, I do think that it's the Central Division, North Division the tide is switching, man. I think the Lions got a shot, 3 years.
In a few years, not this year.
No,
yeah,
they're never coming out of that hole, man. Come on, they're beyond lovable losers.
Wake up, Alex Karras, baby. Let's go. Come on. Is he still with us, by the way? Alex Karras?
I don't know. I haven't.
I don't think so.
I'll get the crack. I'll get the team to look that one up. Okay, let's talk about the big game. Come on, let's go forward on that. The big Super Bowl double nickel, 55. Go.
Bottom line for me, you got to keep Mahomes off the field. If Mahomes is on the field, Kansas City will score 40 points easy. So the Bucs have to long drives. If they get the ball first, they got to make an 8-minute drive. You just can't. I mean, there's just too much offensive firepower. So that's my sort of one note.
Mine is you going back